Let us start with the third lecture. We start with the thermodynamic equilibrium. Thermodynamic equilibrium. So to understand this concept of thermodynamic equilibrium, consider a gas enclosed in a cylinder fitted with a piston, fitted with a movable piston. The gas has temperature T1, pressure P1 and volume V1. These state functions continue to be constant as long as piston is motionless, means unless and until if you don't move the piston, this temperature, pressure and value for this volume will remain constant and no heat exchange also takes place. This is called as the state of equilibrium. Means unless and until there is a change in the values for these state functions, there is no change in the values for this state function, this is called, the system is called to be in a state of equilibrium. In other words, you can say when reaction appears to be stopped in equilibrium state, actually rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the reverse reaction, but you might feel that the reaction is stopped. So this is the equilibrium state. These values for pressure, volume and temperature can be changed from P1 to P2, and value for this volume can be changed from V1 to V2. Now move the piston upwards. This piston can be moved upwards. So what will happen when this piston is moved upward? At this stage, pressure and volume of the gas, will have another value, that is P2 and V2, and temperature can be kept constant here. So the state function are constant because the piston is not moving here. Means once what you did initially, you kept the piston at this position. Now you can lift up this piston. There will be change in the values for pressure and volume. Now this state or this system, which is earlier having the values for pressure as P1 and volume as V1, now has the value P2 and V2. Means there is a change in the values for pressure and the volume. So now this system is in another state of equilibrium. So this is another state of equilibrium. Another state of equilibrium. So you can define when state function do not vary with the time. These are the state functions. When state functions, they do not vary with the time. Vary means change with time. The system is in equilibrium state. It's in equilibrium state. So this is thermodynamic equilibrium, means when there is no change in the state function, values of the state function, they do not vary with the time. The state or this situation is called as the thermodynamic equilibrium. Now the next, come to the concept of processes and its types. Processes, thermodynamic processes and its types. Processes and its types. So what do you mean by the word processes? This is transition from, processes can be called as transition from one equilibrium state. I am writing this equilibrium in short. From one equilibrium state to another is called as a process. So process is nothing but transition from one equilibrium state to another equilibrium state. That is called as a process. There are different types of processes. One is here, the first one you can write isothermal process. Isothermal The word itself suggests that iso means same or constant and thermal means heat. Okay. So it is the process in which temperature of the system remains constant. Here temperature is constant throughout the transformation. Temperature to be kept constant throughout the transformation. In such process, heat flows from the system to the surrounding and vice versa, so as to keep the temperature constant. There can be heat exchanging from system to the surrounding or from surrounding to the system, just to keep the temperature constant. For a given temperature, the internal energy of the system remains constant. Here, so here delta T, this is equal to, this should be always equal to 0 in case of isothermal process. So this isothermal process, in simple words, you can explain like this. You have taken a beaker and to this you add some amount of water. It's taken, and to this now you add concentrated sulfuric acid. As you all know, this thing you already experienced in laboratory. When H2SO4 is added into the water, this becomes hot. The temperature of the system will increase here, but we want to keep this system as an isothermal, or the process as the isothermal one. So the temperature should be constant here, means delta T should be equal to 0. But what happens when you add H2SO4 here? The temperature of water will naturally increase. So just to keep the temperature constant here, you can keep this beaker in cold water. Here you can take cold water, keep the beaker in cold water. So what will happen? Whatever the heat is generated on addition of concentrated H2SO4 here, this will be absorbed by this cold water, and the temperature of the system may remain constant here. So this can be termed as an isothermal process. So why there is a increase in the heat? Because this is an exothermic process. Solvation, there is a evolution of solvation energy here. So in this way you can keep the temperature constant here. So this is about the isothermal process, where delta T should be always equal to 0. There should be no temperature change. Then next process you can write isobaric process. Isobaric process means in this process the pressure is kept constant. Pressure is constant here. So for this type of process, here this delta P, or change in pressure, should be equal to 0. So if you take a container, some amount of gas is taken, it is fitted with a motionless and frictionless piston. So, and if these are the gas molecules, and if this gas is heated, what will happen? There will be change in the temperature. Here the pressure may also be increased, but we want here pressure to be kept constant. So just to keep the pressure constant, if the gas molecules are heated, they will try to expand. So just lift up this piston here, but when you lift this piston up, volume will change. There is change in volume. Volume changes here, but the pressure will remain constant because you are lifting up the piston here. So keeping the pressure constant and change in the volume can be an isobaric process, where change in the temperature should be equal to 0. Remember, this type of isobaric processes can be carried out in open system or closed system. In addition to this, it should follow the condition that delta P should be equal to 0, or pressure should be constant here. Here also, this isothermal process can also be carried out in open system or in closed system. Open and closed system. Again, the condition is that this delta J should be equal to 0. Next process, you can come that is isoporic process. This isoporic process, in this volume is constant. Volume is to be kept constant here. Again same, you can take a container fitted with a piston. You hit this container here, gas molecules. When you hit this again, you want to keep this volume constant. Delta V should be equal to 0 here. So you can change the pressure. Pressure is changed. So what you can do here, just to keep this volume constant, you don't allow this piston to move. You can screw this piston at both the ends so that this piston shouldn't move and pressure can be changed. So when you hit this, gas molecules will expand and there will be increase in the pressure in this area, but volume will remain same because you are fixed this one. So it will not allow this piston to move. So again this process can be carried out in open or closed system. Open or closed system here. But the next process, that is an adiabatic process. That is adiabatic process. In case of this adiabatic process, this is an insulated one. The condition is that the system should be insulated here. So to keep this system insulated is the prime condition for this adiabatic process. So if you take this system, which is an insulated one, like a thermos flask, there are no heat exchange in between system and surrounding. That is Q equal to 0 in this case. Q is equal to 0, that is heat changes equal to 0. So in case of this, A plus B, they both react together to form product. Product is formed. So the reaction can be exothermic, one condition. In another case, if A and B they react together, product is formed. The reaction or the process can be endothermic also. So in case of exothermic process, it will not come out. Though there is a evolution of it, the heat, whatever the heat is evolved here, it will stay in the system only. If the reaction is endothermic, there will be fall in temperature or the heat is absorbed within the system. So this temperature, this is the measure of the heat. Means you can measure out the amount of heat evolved or amount of heat absorbed in the system by means of change in the temperatures here. So A plus B product is formed, process can be exothermic. A plus B product is formed, process can be endothermic here. So this is the process which is can be carried out only in isolated systems. So remember this well. Adiabatic processes can be carried out only in an isolated system. Open and closed system won't work here in case of the adiabatic process. So these are the three different types of processes. As you all can see that there is no heat exchanges between system and the surrounding. This is the main condition for this adiabatic process. Whether the reaction is exothermic or whether the reaction is endothermic, there should not be any change or the exchange with the system and the surrounding. Whatever the amount of heat is evolved or absorbed, it should remain in the system itself. So this condition for this, the system should be isolated. So these are the different types of processes. One more, that is a reversible process. We will see that in the next lecture. Thank you.